Alright, backup plan. Here we go. Hey guys, how are ya? Thought I'd just check in. Now look, I was all ready to go. I had my camera ready to go with the computer, but for some reason it's had a heart attack. Oh, hurry up! I'm watching The Bachelor. Sorry, Janie. Jeez, sorry to put you out. Anyway, hey, need to sleep. Yeah, I know. I feel a bit ordinary. Anyway, hey guys, want to thank you for checking in. HTP repping, mate. Yeah, for sure. Adrian, good on you, bud. Welcome to the Shagga show. Look, I've talked about it. It's been going over 2 years. It's something I wanted to do. My problem is, well, we could probably call it the procrastination show, but the stickers would be too big, you know, like I can't even spell procrastination, but anyway, I've been putting it off for a couple of years. It's something like I wanted to do. Geez, I'm getting a cane, and maybe I should have done my hair or something. Anyway, it's been something I've been putting off for a couple of years, but I just wanted to touch base with all you guys to let you know that I'm still around, still doing what I do, and I just, you know, drags is my life. It's something I'm good at, doing the commentary and that. It's something I love, and it's probably, I describe it as the disease, but anyway, it is what it is. And I get out there, spell check. What's spell check? Anyway, I shouldn't be reading the comments. I should just get in with it. So I want to shout out to all you guys that touch out to me and say, hey, thanks for what you do. Thanks for, and just say hello at the track and that. I'm lucky enough that I get around to different tracks. For those of you that don't know, I live in Willowbank at the moment. That's about to change. I got a few changes going on in life, but that it is what it is. I'll keep you updated with that. I won't go into too much detail with that tonight. But so I've got some changes coming up, which are pretty exciting. It's just things happen in life, and it is what it is. You just take it as they come, and you move on. But anyway, jeez, I should got to stop watching these comments. Anyway, you guys, hey, thanks for checking in. Well, what do we got? 78. Jeez, pressure's on. Hey, but I just want to touch on a few things. Let's talk about the weekend. Let's talk about Jambo. I just want to have a bit of a say about that. I'm not going to cover some of the stuff. You know what happened with some things. I don't want to talk about that. Well, you know, it is what it is. That will sort itself out, I hope. But, I mean, what I want to touch on quickly, I want to go through a few highlights. Let's go through a few highlights to get it started. I want to talk about some of those. I want to shout out. I want to shout out some of you guys for the effort you make, and just like people don't understand. I think sometimes what goes on behind the scenes to a lot of people, for a lot of people to make things happen at the track. They see a car or the bike go down the track. They don't understand how much time and effort and passion and money and, you know, all that goes into it. I want to start by giving a quick shout out to Colin Wilshire, Callie Betts, and all the team there for Jambo. I mean, it's a massive event. It really is an event. It's not a race, it's an event. And those guys are top of their game. They're top of their game. They're very smart in what they do. And it really is. It's a pleasure to be there. It's a pleasure to be there and see just all the little things, the big things and the little things. It's well run. There's plenty there for everyone to do and see. Caters for all sorts of groups. It's a different, let's be honest, if you're a drag tragic like me, it's a different crowd to what we usually see at a drag meet. And I commented to a few people on the weekend, it's honestly probably 80% of the crowd that you see at Jambo you wouldn't see at a normal drag meet. It's just that unique, and it's really is a showcase, I guess, of that side of the drag racing sport and the industry, that whole industry. So, but to put an event together like that and be as polished as it is, I want to shout out once again to you guys, so Colin and Kelly and all the team involved there. And to see those guys also race on top of putting an event on, that's massive. Like, I mean, a couple of years of commenting that I look tired. Imagine how tired those guys are, how much effort they put in. But anyway, so I was lucky enough to be there. At the moment, I've got a bit of free time. We won't go into that, but I've got a bit of free time at the moment. I was there from Wednesday afternoon till last night, pretty much. I did the sums. It worked out I was there 63 hours over the last few days. But that's what I do. I go to the track. I put in the time. I talk to people. Unfortunately, I'm still in a position where I can't be involved as I want to be at the moment. So what I did, and a lot of you appreciated it, and it gives me something to do, and it helps me too. It helps me research. It helps me create notes, but I did all the little updates. Oh, Dave Hunter, mate, I'm getting to you. Hang on. I do all the little updates. I try and give you a run by run. Sometimes it's a little bit hard, and what I'm trying to work on too with that is, I know with the timing systems, sometimes you've got to be real quick. You've got to get on the buttons. You've got to punch those numbers in because they'll disappear off the scoreboards, and that's it's just in the system in that when the tower does what they got to do, when they put in the next the numbers for the next race and they enter them, well, that disappears off the screen. So you got to be quick. I missed some, unfortunately, but I try to do as many as I can and keep you updated as much as possible. So that gives me something to do. It helps me because I like to just sort of I like to be on top of it. I like to know who's doing what, who's running what. I like to acknowledge those that have achieved, milestones, PBs, and I just love doing that sort of stuff. So, and I think you guys, all the effort you put in, deserve that acknowledgement. You deserve to know that. I'll give you a perfect example. Danny Busbridge on the weekend cracked the sixes for the first time. That's been his target for a number of years. The car ran 6.666. I mean, that's, to him, that was everything, and then as much as that happens, and the highlight of that, then the other side happens, and unfortunately, going into the final, the third round of racing, he had a drama with the engine, heard a noise, decided to not take part in the final rather than just show up. But I mean, that's the highs and the lows of the sport. That's a perfect example. And I was lucky enough to spend some time with Danny and Bear and the team, and a few beers. Hey, good on you, boys. Thanks, someone had to drink your Great Northerns. I wasn't drinking those green cans, but anyway, thanks anyway. And then, but that's what I like to do. I like to keep on top of that, and I'm not sending out surveys. I'm not sending out questionnaires. I'm going to be there watching. I'm going to be there putting it all in here. I don't write it down. It's probably the only thing I use my brain for. So it's probably not. It's pretty messed up otherwise. But on top of that, I that's what I do. So I hope you all appreciate it. I know you do. I know a lot of people appreciate it, and I don't do it for that, but it's nice to get the recognition. A lot of people come and say thank you for that. So and I mean, even Colin last night said, mate, thanks for doing the updates. A lot of people keep an eye on that, so that was great. Let's go through a couple of things from the weekend. Let's talk about some, like I had a chance to hang out with a few of these guys, but some of the things that happened on. Let's talk about Frank Marchese. Now everyone knows Frank, right? So he does a lot for the sport. He's pretty cocky. He's pretty cocky, but he's good what he does, and he loves the sport that much. But what happened on the weekend is sort of like superhuman, and not many people would go to that much effort for what he did. So let's just touch on that briefly. We've all seen the photos. We've all seen the photos from Jambo testing on Friday. After running on Thursday, from memory I was there, like it's all sort of blended into one. It's been a week, but he put that thing. It's got on the tow bar. It's got a tow bar. He put it on the tow bar, wheels off the ground. So that thing comes down. It's not a light car. It's a heavy car. So to make it go that fast is impressive to start with, but when something that heavy comes down that hard, there was a lot of damage. There was a lot of damage, all the front end, and I won't go into too much detail, but pipes crushed, control arms bent, blah, 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 like just so much. So, I mean, a lot of people will go, I'm going to put it in the trailer. It is what it is. I ran sixes. I ran 211 mile an hour. That 211 mile an hour pass, I was behind it, off to the side near the start line there. And I said to him, I swear the tyres only touched the ground 4 times on that pass, the front tyres. It's crazy. It's super impressive, and it's an honour to be there in the presence and watching that sort of vehicle run. But anyway, so that thing come down that hard that it did all that damage. So many people would just pack it up, understandably. But Frankie's like, no. So he's on the phone, he's on the Gazards, he's on, So Scott here from Gazards, bring down some control arms. So those boys worked all night. They're welding up pipes, they're doing this, they get it all back together. Saturday comes, Frankie goes out, squeezes that Falcon hard, makes it work, get it down the track. What happens? It blows gaskets. It pushes gaskets out. Damages heads, blah, 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 blah. Do you stop there? Not Frankie. Frankie goes, well, hang on, what can I do here? So that night, he organised to get the heads repaired, sent away. I left the track. No, he had to head away to pick up the heads once they'd been repaired. He didn't return to the track till about 2 a.m. I left the track probably 3 a.m. But anyway, he was working away on that, and no sleep, worked through the night, had the boys on it the next morning. They had some dramas with just little fiddly things, but they managed to make it happen. He got back out on track yesterday, and it's just, I don't know, like, how do you beat that passion? You can't buy that. You can't buy that. That's in the heart, and that's the passion for the sport, and that's what we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate that sort of stuff that happens out there on track, and within our sport. Steve Barnett, another one. I mean, all the talk leading up to it, of course, Barnett and the Pack guys and the 13B record, and it was probably one of the most exciting things leading into the event. And what happens? Barnett comes out, tests on Wednesday, and hammers the wall. Like, it went in the wall hard. My opinion and many around us was like, well, that's it. He's out of the event. No. The boys got in. They repaired it. They got new parts. I'd hate to guess, what's involved in just trying to get that thing back on track. They got it back on track. 2 days later, they run the quickest 13B pass in the country, 6:53. That's, you've got to take your hats off to those guys just for making that happen, and it was true highlight of the event. And then the battle between them and the Pack boys to get it done. As we all know, the Pack boys come out on top. They were the first 6:49. And these two are in the top 10 in the world. Like, our little country of Australia, we do such a fantastic job of making things happen. A few others, Jun 2, and King 32, both of you guys, insane. Those things are nuts. Like, to watch those things go down the track, you swear they're actually trying to tear the tyres off the rims. Both of those guys run in the dramas. We know Jun 2 went those 690s early, then smashed the transfer in the gearbox. They flew parts from Sydney. They repaired the gearbox. Then for some reason they lost the first gear, so they decided to hit it in. They just keep going. Joni says 7th and 8th in the world for the two, for the 13B guys. So that's unreal. And Lance Warren was the other one. We hadn't seen that car. We know a lot about it. It's great to see late model cars like that. But that R35, comes out first pass, and on the hit just explodes the diff, like everywhere, shrapnel everywhere. Doesn't give up. He's towed all the way from Victoria, I believe. Fixes it. Somehow gets it fixed, organised, finds someone, finds a diff, and gets it happen, gets back out there and race day. So, look, big shout out to all you guys that did that, because we all appreciate it. We all appreciate it as spectators and lovers of the sport. Couple of lowlights, I guess. Don't like to touch on them, but we have to touch on them. Obviously, Anthony Briggs, mate, big stack. I was at the finish line, actually, for this one. Ugly. It was as ugly as any I've seen. mate. But the good news is, and thanks for all the updates, especially the Spot On boys. I mean, what a bunch of guys. Actually, Michael Dell has just come on, mate. I want to shout out to you, bud. That wouldn't have been easy to watch. One of your mates, one of your family, for that to happen. But the good news is, and thanks to everyone for the updates, the Spot On boys, the updates and that. But Briggsy's on the mend. He's still got a little bit of a way to go. Obviously, he's got had a few operations, from what I believe already, particularly on the arm and the hand. But mate, shout out to you. We know how much that car means to you. I mean, that thing's been around for 20 odd years, and to see that happen to you and the car was devastating. But I guess at times it's just a reminder. Like there's the highs and the lows for him. Ran a PB in the morning, ran 8:31. Next pass out, that happens. The sport's tough sometimes, but I mean we all love it. That's why we turn up. That's why we do it. I just want to. The other thing I want to touch on briefly is it was a great event, but I got a bit of feedback from people that it sort of dragged out a bit, and I felt it did too. And I don't believe it's nothing to do with the program. I think some onus has to come back on, and I'm just putting it out there, guys. Please understand, this is just my opinion. I think some of the onus needs to come back on the races. Come to the start line ready. Come to the start line, come to the lanes, come to the start line ready. And I'm not just saying on the day, I'm saying that's the pinnacle. So, I guess, not to categorise, but for that style of vehicle, that's your pinnacle. That's your big event. That's the one you want to be at, the Jambo. Maybe do some test days leading up to it. I mean, it's easy to say, but maybe do some test days. Get your routine down with your crew. Check little things in the car that you need to check. Make sure that's all happening correct. But maybe don't turn up to a major event, excuse me, underdone, because it drags out the program a bit. Sorry, losing the voice already. It drags up the program a little bit. Now, everyone wants to be there. I totally understand that. But just make everything efficient. Make the event. I mean, all the staff, all the volunteers there, they put in all the effort. Jeez, I'm joking. To make everything as quick as possible. Get your routine sorted, get your car sorted, warm it up, do whatever you have to do before you get to the start line. It's better for you, it's better for the public, it's better for the sport. It's not always easy to do. No, I'm not going to do it Tim McGamus, mate, but to the same sort of, not to the same degree, obviously, but in that, direction, mate. It's a better show. It's a better show if you're ready. It's better for you too. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's potential people there that might be interested in getting involved in the sport. Now I'm joking. Hang on, won't be a sec. I'm back. It just looks better. It just puts on a better show. It sort of repays, like I said, the track staff, the promoters, the event holders, the public, just get the routine sorted, work it out, get it, make it refined, make it, it makes it easier for everyone. Work out all your roles as crew members, and just do what you can do. Obviously, so the other argument will come up that, but that's I've got a big dollar car and that's the place to do it because the track prep's the best and blah blah. If you learn to get your car or your bike down a track that's not Mickey Mouse, and let's be honest, it can't always be. When it comes to the time that it is Mickey Mouse, the results are rewarding, and I say that from the point of view in that I do a lot of regional tracks, as you know. I do Mackay and I do Gladstone and I do Warwick from time to time, Roma. You know, what I love seeing is those guys working it out, working out how to either the car or their bike, whatever, down those tracks. And I'm not having a go at those tracks at all, but the fact is they don't see as much traffic. They don't see as much time on track. There's not as much prep that goes into it, just purely because the events aren't there that you see at your bigger tracks. So what happens is it comes to the bigger events. What I love watching is, like, for example, the Winter Nationals. It's the big one. Let's be honest, it's the big one. Everyone wants to be a part of it. And if you can hold a trophy up from the Winter Nationals, you're as good as it gets. You know, that's the pinnacle. What I love seeing is guys that have worked it out on tracks that aren't optimum come there and make it happen. Just make it happen. You know, they get it sorted on a smaller track and they reap the rewards when they take trophies. And that's good to see, because those guys have worked it out. They've worked it out. It can't always be optimum, and that's got to be half the battle, half the challenge for everyone. So, the other thing that's come up lately, and I'm just going to say a little bit about it, the holding out, hold me out, the double bulb, guys, this is the rules. If it's within the rules, no problem. What's the problem? If it's within the rules, what is the problem? Right? If you don't agree with the rules, put a rules proposal in to the governing body and make that happen. Nobody, well, I won't say nobody. In my opinion, most wouldn't do anything like that on purpose. Everybody has, little glitches, whatever, make it. But don't then turn around and go, oh, they did this, they did that. Nobody does it on purpose, all right? But it's within the rules. Nobody's breaking the rules. If they do break the rules, then they get disqualified. They're out of the event, whatever the case may be. Make a rule proposal if you don't agree with it. But at the end of the day, make your car or your bike more compatible to suit that conditions. Everyone's got a lot of money tied up, so don't use the excuse, oh, I got a little, everybody has. Everyone's there to the best of their ability, to the best of their to the most affordable, and everyone's there to race and have fun. Now, the other thing that came up, a lot of people say, there's a few incidences on the weekend. I'm not going to touch on them, but I will say that Po Tung he beat me to the punch. He put up pretty much exactly what I was feeling today on a post on Facebook, and there has been a bit of a loss of the sportsmanship of the thing. Now, I was having a bit of a think about this today, and what I feel is it's sort of all our problem. I think in that everyone wants to do their best. Everyone wants to do their best and achieve what they can achieve. And in doing so, what's the best way to put this? I was trying to think of this best way to put this today, and I knew I'd glitch it when I get to here. But I think just achieve what you can achieve. But what happens is, hey, we're an innovative bunch. As drag racers in a little small country, we're an innovative bunch. We want to do our best. We want to take on the world. We're like a little angry chihuahua. We want to take on the world. Obviously, America is the pinnacle, and we want to target those guys. For sports like yesterday, you've got other countries such as Puerto Rico and that we want to set as the best, reach their benchmark or take it to them. So we're innovators. So what I sort of saw what happened on the weekend and even leading up to the event. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, it's a bit of that, mate. It's anything but it's life, Unfortunately, just Dave Mahoy out there commenting. Mate, I think, like I said, we're innovators, so we want to do the best we can. So, from my point of view, we go, okay, the best we can do. I think if I do this, make this product. All right. So we're talking about we make this product. We got to make it work. To make it work, we need money. To raise money, it needs to be successful. To be successful, we have to be the best. We have to be number one. We have to be better than him, better than her. You know. So there's pressure there, and I think that flows over sometimes. So I'm not targeting anyone, but I like just in regards to the weekend, for example. So obviously the 13B battle at the moment is pretty full on. It's pretty full on, and I can understand. You guys have got a lot of money invested, a lot of there's business involved. And sometimes the line gets a little bit blurred, but I mean, most of the time it's enjoying to watch. It's enjoying to watch that battle. It's enjoying to watch that contest. Don't want it flowing over. I mean, that's all I wanted to say. The achievements, I mean, honestly, like we said earlier, the 7 and 8 in the world, to our local boys getting it done, and that's as good as it gets. But there has to be the respect there. Someone mentioned respect. There has to be the respect there, guys. We're all here. We're a small group, really. In the scheme of things, drag race in Australia, we're a small group, and we need to stick together. And we need to all make it happen, and we need maybe a little bit more respect needs to come back, and I hope that happens. But having said that, I understand the rivalry. Let's just hope it doesn't flow over at too many events. I'm not going to touch on obviously anything else from the weekend. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you. So I want to say thank you. I mentioned it earlier. A lot of people come up and say thank you for what I do, but I love it, and that's why I do it. It's something I've been able to focus in. It's caused me some dramas with various things in life, but it's my passion, and that's I probably blurs the line between passion and obsession at times. But I think in life, if you find something that you're good at, give it your all, and just go from there. And I sort of feed off the passion I see at the track from a lot of, particularly in the pits. I see a lot of people just their passion and make things happen, and that I feed off that. But I want to shout out, you don't do it for the appreciation as such, but it is well received, and I want to say thank you to anyone that does that. Quick shout out, Dean Ferris, mate. Only had a chance to meet you a few months ago, but the top bloke, had their little escort wagon there on the weekend, but like just little things, like he, got some t-shirts made up for his team and got one made up with my name on it. Like just, mate, I really appreciate that. I'm not saying I want all the freebies, but if you got no, all jokes aside, I really appreciate that, and that's why I do it, because I like that people appreciate what I do, and that's why I keep doing it. Anyway, it is what it is. So guys, I want to try and do this a bit more often. I want to quick shout out to the boys at Jet 275. They sort of give me a bit of a kick along. Like I said, it's been 2 years in the making. I come up with the Shagga show. I got chipped by a few people on that. They bagged me about that. I don't give a shit, but I do give a shit, if that makes sense. I don't do it. Anyway, I should stop there. But so I started that just to get a bit of, I don't know, just a little something funny, something different. Just to give you a bit of an insight, the shirt come about is because I was commentating in Willowbank at the time. The Nostalgia Drags was coming up, and I was booked in to do that. I looked up some photos from Surfers Paradise days, obviously the early days here in Queensland, and I saw some photos and they had what looked to me black and white striped shirts for the staff on the crew, on the start line, sorry. So I went and ordered a black and white shirt. I turned up to the Nostalgia Drags, and I'm going to give a quick shout out to Ronnie Whelan, mate. I know you're not doing the best. You're in hospital there at the moment, mate. Keep fighting the fight, bud. We're all thinking of you, and we thank you for everything you've done for the sport, particularly in the early years. But Ronnie Whelan said to me, "What's with the shirt?" And I said, "Mate, honestly, I saw photos from Surfers Paradise days, and I saw your striped shirt." And he goes, "Well, they were red and white, but obviously I couldn't tell from the bloody photos because they were black and white photos." So that's where the shirt came about, and it's something I sort of just stuck with. It's just my little thing. So that's a little bit of background behind that. I sort of jumped on board with that and followed that a bit. I did the Larry Larson thing, and I just wanted to explain to you about that. Larry Larson, in the early days when I got into drags, I had a few heroes, particularly like Don Pradone, Kenny Bernstein, some of these guys from the NHRA, some of the legends. Jungle Jim Lieberman's probably one of my favourites. So I got into all that sort of side of it, and then I started getting an interest outside of just the NHRA and the big show. And probably the favourite car outside the big show for me for many years was Larry Larson's Nova, and to this day it's my favourite car. The Larson cars are my favourite. Larson's Nova is my favourite car. Chevy 2 is my dream car. So to have that car come over here and Larry Larson to show up here a few years ago, and to be involved in that was probably have to be one of the highlights of my career, definitely. I hope to get over there and see you guys again one day. But that just, when you're living the dream, I say it all the time. I say live in the dream all the time. Some people get the shits with it. I don't care, because that's just my thing. But I really am at times living the dream. So someone's mentioned there the stubby coolers. We went from there, and I said to Dave Reed, and we all know Dave Reed from Drag Photos and On Point Media Solutions. That's not paid reference, not cash for comment. But if you want to, anyway. And I said to Dave, he was doing some stubby coolers, and I said maybe we do some Shagga Show stubby coolers. So he came up with the design, and I started, and I'm like, I'll get 30 stubby coolers as a bit of a joke, blah blah blah. 150 we did. We ended up doing 150. If I had the money, I'd do some more, because people are still asking to this day. They're not ideal because they're white and black, but I mean, they've been everywhere. Mike Hyde took one to Mike Hyde gave one to a mate who took it to Paris. Tiana Littlewood, my little princess, one of our fellow commentators at Willowbank, she took it all on the Europe trip and America trip, and it went everywhere. They're in New Zealand. I've given them to guys from the States, and Billy Stockton, one that come to mind. He said, "I still got your koozie in my truck." He keeps the cooler in his truck and uses it. It's just something different, and I really enjoyed it. And I thank you for helping me out with that. And maybe we'll do some more one day. But this was going to be the next evolution. Sort of a bit of a podcast, a video blog. What I'd like to do is I'll get some people on from time to time. This is the first one. I've actually, would you believe, I bought microphones, I bought cameras, I bought programs. I did a trial run like 2 years ago, and I overanalyzed it and just didn't put it out because, the head does funny things. So I just went, no, I'm not doing it, and I've been putting it off, and then obviously there's been some bits and pieces along the way that prevented me to doing that, or just stopping me up here in the head. But I just figured the time's now. I've got a few things going on. I've got a fresh start in life happening soon, and I just got to make things happen and see what happens. It's a funny head. Good on you, Adrian. You're a legend. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I'm going to try and do more. Like I said, I got some other things planned. I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to do some little stories in the pits and that. I want to. Obviously, you see the TV stuff and all that sort of stuff. We see that but it highlights, what's the best way? It probably just highlights the pro guys, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the pinnacle of our sport. But there's so many characters in our sport. There's so many good people out there. So guys and girls, if I come to you, I got a little idea. If I come to you, give us a hand, and let's get some stuff out there. Let's put some more content on here. I want to get some more here. I've got a page. I've got the Shagga Show page. I'm going to share this to there. I'm going to start sort of heading you that way if you can. And hey, let's give it a go. What's happening is we've got some message come up. Anyway, so we'll try that. Like I said, I'll try and get this camera sorted out. Bought a half decent camera. Supercar Blondie. Mate, do you know that Supercar Blondie? Just totally side note. You know she comes from Boona. Does anyone know Boona in South East Queensland? It's not the sort of place. Anyway, I'm not bagging Boona, but it's not the sort of place you'd expect someone like that to come from. But anyway, I'm still working behind the scenes on my next event I got coming up. It's a good problem to have, but I was pretty much double booked. Mackay, those guys up there have been fantastic to me, man. It's unreal. They've been fantastic. They got me up for every event this year. Unfortunately, I can't do the next one, but it's a good problem to have because I've got Power Cruise on, which is not this weekend, the following weekend. So, like I said, it's a good problem to have when you're double booked. I'd like that to happen more often. I'm working on a few things. I'm going to start pushing it a bit more and see what happens. But I want to do more events. Mate, Dean Ferris, are you coming to Radial Riot? Mate, are you for real? Like, I'll be the first one there and last one to leave. Radial Riot coming up. But yeah, so guys, thanks very much. Talk to you soon. Keep an eye out. I'll try and put some updates on that. Congratulations again to everyone involved with Jambo on the weekend. It was a massive event. You wouldn't have got me to a Jambo 10 years ago or that, but I've definitely accommodation. Oh yeah, mate, I got me Shagga. Yeah, it's good stuff. I'll talk more about that maybe next time. But get to a track, guys. Get to a track. Enjoy drag racing. Keep an eye on all the updates. Whether get on all the websites, all the Facebook pages. Just get to a track and have a go, man. I drove a Gemini at the drags 20 odd years ago. Dialed in at 21s with an auto Gemini and got too cheeky and jumped on the brakes too hard and got beat. But it was fun, get out there and have some fun. Spread the word. Get your people, get your friends to come along, have a look at a drag race and get involved. And that's about it. Support the tracks. Get there, testing tunes. Get to events, even if you're not racing, get there and have a look, and just see what goes on and just enjoy the sport. Love is all. I'll talk to you soon. Like I said, this is the first of many. This is it. I'll work on it. I'll try and make it a bit more entertaining. But anyway, we'll work on it. You got to start somewhere. Talk to you all soon. And as I always say, Shagga out.